Hello and welcome to this evening's coverage of Arsenal versus Newcastle at the Emirates Stadium. Both teams have walked out and are shaking each other's hands. Here's how both teams line up this evening. Here is the Arsenal goalkeepers. The goalkeeper is David Raya for this evening's game. Arsenal's defenders are Hincapié Gabriel, Saliba and Ben White. The midfielders line up like Rice, Zubimendi and Odegaard, and the forwards are Eze, Havertz and Madueke. Now here are the lineups for Newcastle. The goalkeeper is Nick Pope. Aaron Ramsdale will not make his return to the Emirates Stadium. The defenders are Dan Burn, Malik Thiaw, Sven Botman and Lewis Miley. The midfield is Tonali, Miley, Guimaraes. And the forwards is Willock, Asula and Jacob Murphy. And we are ready for kick-off here at the Emirates, as North London Forever whistles around the Emirates Stadium. It is a must-win game for Arsenal, as they drop down to seconds because of Manchester City's victory last week over them at the Etihad. Victor Gyökeres will kick us off in a few moments. We are awaiting the whistle from the referee. And we've got it. Victor Gyökeres kicks us off at the Emirates Stadium for this evening's game. Arsenal Football Club versus Newcastle United Football Club. We are joined by a guest this evening to help out with the commentary, as Willock plays it through to William Asula and he misses the ball from an easy chance. The Emirates fell silent as he ran through that defence, and he ended up missing the ball. What do you think of that?
Well, it was a clean-cut chance. He just didn't look composed and just missed the ball when he was kicking it. First chance for Newcastle. It's good play, but we know that Arsenal will be putting up a big fight. It is the title on the line.
As it's played to Madueke on the right hand side. Dan Burn cutting across, cleared out by Joe Willock. As now it's Odegaard. Tries to spray a ball into Havertz, but it's only collected by Nick Pope, who is back in the lineup. He has been replaced by Aaron Ramsdale, who is on loan from Southampton. And he has came in that starting 11. As Nkappi heads it over. Now it's with Rice. Rice to Odegaard. Trying to get past Tonali. Tonali wins it. Now it's with Dan Burn. Back to Tonali. And he plays it back to his teammate Malik Thiaw. Arsenal haven't trailed at half-time in their last 19 home matches. Can they hold on to this record this evening as it remains 0-0? Only 2 minutes in to this 5:30 kickoff at the Emirates Stadium. Now it's played to Wasula. He's pushed over by Saliba. The referee says play on. It's of Zubimendi, gives it to Rice. Rice over his right hand side to Ben White. Ben White holding up the ball. Gives it to William Saliba. Plays it across to Eberechi Eze, who looks like he's playing a centre mid role right now as he picks up the ball once again from Gabriel. Plays it sideways to William Saliba. Plays it over to Declan Rice. He's in the AAFC team of the season. This Englishman. I just played it to Odegaard. Odegaard playing it sideways to Martin Zubimendi. It's a bit of a scramble and Tonali picks it up in plenty of space. Switches it to Bruno Guimaraes and it's over the crossbar. Into the crowd at the Emirates Stadium. Great play from Lewis Miley to win the ball there. Bruno Guimaraes from outside the box. Over the bar. Quite far over in the end. As it was out of David Raya's reach. It did have plenty of bend on. But right over the bar. As it's with Odegaard. Getting pressed heavily by Sandro Tonali. Declan Rice kicks it long. Madueke cuts it out. But it's only played back to Sven Botman. Now back to his goalkeeper, Nick Pope. Now it's with Bruno Guimaraes. Back to Joe Willock. In the middle of this pitch here. Now it's Bruno. Once again in that midfield. He's returned after his 10-week injury that left him out of Premier League action. I just played to Asula on this right hand side. Plays it back to Murphy. Asula running back inside. Murphy. The ball is out for an Arsenal throw-in as he tried to get past Saliba. But he shows his quality there. I just played Declan Rice from that throw-in. Gabriel headers it to Rice. Rice clears and it is a Newcastle throw-in inside the Arsenal territory, quite deep inside, as a matter of fact. Earlier today, West Ham did come back in the 92nd minute to get themselves out of the relegation zone, as Tottenham managed to beat Wolves their first win of 2026, keeping them the relegation zone though. But they are catching up to West Ham, who are only 2 points clear. As it's sprayed in by Tonali but cleared. Odegaard has an option of the running Madueke. Plays Havertz on this right hand side. Havertz with William Asula cutting across. He's all the way inside his own half and it's cut out by Sandro Tonali as applause from the away end. Corner for Newcastle. Great ball by Odegaard into Havertz. Tonali cut across well and played it out for an Arsenal corner. Noni Madueke standing over this corner. Arsenal have scored 14 goals from corners this season. They are the best at attacking corners, while Newcastle are the worst at defending corners in the Premier League this season. And it's only played at Eze, who is near the midfield point as it's played to Madueke, who is advancing in the 18-yard box, puts a cross in, cleared out by Malik Chow, and once again an Arsenal corner. Madueke stands tall over this one once again. Takes a few steps back. Raises his right arm. Plays it short to Odegaard. Odegaard plays it backwards to Eze. Eze has a crack and it's just wide of the goal. Eze wants a corner, but the match officials disagree. For the first time this season, Arsenal not swinging this one in. They are trying to take the short corner approach and get it in the back of the net. As he's asking for a corner, I don't know why. As Arteta applauds. Head is won by Hincapie. And Madueke is driving forward. It's a mistake from Botman. Great tackle by the big man Malik Chow for Newcastle. Arsenal have a corner. What can Arsenal do from this corner here? As Bukayo Saka watches on. He has been injured since that Carabao Cup final. Can he bounce back from his injury as Madueke stands over this corner? Gabriel wrestling Murphy. Madueke plays a violating through ball to Havertz. Eze with the shot! Unbelievable strike from Eberechi Eze. Finds the top left corner. And as the Emirates Stadium erupts, Eze points to the sky and points to the Arsenal badge. From a corner once again, Arsenal take the lead at the Emirates against Newcastle United. What did you make of that, Dan?
Well, it is absolutely lovely play from Arsenal on the corner. You can just see Zubamendi plays it just outside of the box, and Eze has done brilliantly to find that top left corner. Arsenal will be very happy with these first 10 minutes.
See there, Eze finding the top corner. Arteta punches the sky as Nicholas Dover, the Arsenal set-piece coach, watches on. Eze nodding with a smirk on his face as he sends Newcastle United deep inside the relegation battle. As it stands, Arsenal are top of the Premier League by 3 points, but City once again do have a game in hand, and City don't play until May 4th. As Ramsey plays it back to Dan Burn. Burn to Tonali. Tonali plays it backwards to Malik Chow. Now is Dan Burn. Gives it to Jacob Ramsey. Wrestling with Declan Rice there. I just play it to Tonali, back to Burn. Ramsey plays a smart 1-2 to Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes floors Zubamendi with that wonderful bit of skill. Tonali recycles it to Malik Tiao. Dan Burn. Back to Sven Botman. Now it is Malik Tiao on this right side. Gives it to Lewis Miley. Lewis Miley to Ramsey. Malik Tiao has it once again. Plays it across to Sandro Tonali. As European qualification is impossible for the Magpies, as they exited the Champions League 7-2, 8-3 on aggregate to Barcelona. They can no longer compete on the European stage next season. And the only thing they have left to lose, really, is their manager, Eddie Howe. As Bruno Guimaraes shows his laces on the halfway line, Tonali gives it to Malik Tiao. Bruno Guimaraes is done with his laces and has played to him. Now it's Botman. Plays it backwards to the goalkeeper, Nick Pope. Pope gives it to Tiao. Willock to Ramsey. He's done well, as Willock tries to swing it in and he wins his team a throw-in inside the Arsenal final third. What can Arsenal do to defend this, and what can Newcastle do to attack this? They find themselves 1-0 down 13 minutes in. How can they respond to such a setback? What have you made of these first 14 minutes?
I think it's been good play on both sides, but Arsenal have just been the better team. I think Newcastle, they have definitely fought for it, but I think on set pieces, Arsenal will just be unstoppable in this tie.
Arsenal already scoring from a corner this match, but it was a bit of a different approach as Eberechi Eze swung it and hung it into that top left corner. Sensational hit from Eze as David Raya kicks it long. It does find Kai Havertz, but he touches it terribly. But it is an Arsenal throw-in because of a mistake by Lewis Miley, the number 67 for Newcastle. Eze with a feint. Gives it to Havertz. Havertz tries to backheel to Odegaard but gets cut out by Murphy. Now it's just Sven Botman, the number 4 for the Magpies. Plays it backwards to Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes does really well to find Dan Burn some space. Now it is with Willock. Willock gets past 2 Arsenal men. Arteta throws his hands up in the air as Ramsey has so much space. He gives it to Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes switches it to Murphy on this right hand side. He has the option of Miley, but he swings it in towards Sven Botman. It is headed away though, as William Masula has on this left hand side. He's taken on Noni Madueke. He swings the ball in towards Dan Burn, headed away by Gabriel. Tonali. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties there. But we now have the match back on our screen. That is swung in. Saliba with a header away. Tonali wins it. There are appeals from Arsenal for a handball and they do get them appeals matched. Sandro Tonali shakes his head in disapproval. The action areas in the first half, in Newcastle's half, been 23%, Arsenal's 31%, and in the middle of the pitch 46%. As it is with Declan Rice. He plays it straight into Botman. Now it's with Odegaard though. Odegaard plays it back to Gabriel. Declan Rice has it now. Just walking with the ball, looking for options to open up as he switches it to William Saliba. Saliba to Odegaard. Odegaard plays it to Rice. They're taking the time in the build-up here, Arsenal, as Zubimendi gives it to Odegaard. I can see in this Arteta system, Zubimendi and Rice drop back to make a 4-back system as the full-backs push up to be wingers and the centre-backs push wide to be the left and right backs. Bruno Guimaraes gives it to Ramsey. Ramsey to Thiaw. Guimaraes. Plays it back to Botman. Willock. Threaded a through ball. I just crossed in towards Asula. David Raya with a great save. Just coming across off his goal line to clear that cross. As he boots it long. It is headed away by Sven Botman. What do you think of Arsenal's build-up so far? And they are trailing, but they have shown some good signs so far in the opening 18 minutes.
Well, I know they are 1-0 down, but Newcastle have had some brilliant play here. I feel they are quite unlucky to have conceded. They've been very central with their play, with some quick counter-attacks. But Arsenal, right now, are controlling the game.
As Newcastle are 14th in the league right now, a result would take them up to 13th, and then they would only be 1 point away from their arch rivals, Sunderland, who have just been promoted and are shocking everyone with their results, but they did just get destroyed by Nottingham Forest 5-0 last night, as Odegaard gives it to Declan Rice. Rice driving forward with the ball here. He's at the midfield point now. Odegaard switches it to Eberechi Eze on this left side. Eze gets past his man. Eze swings the ball in. Malik Thiaw with a great clearance. As now Newcastle look to come on the counter here. As he tries to ping a ball into Asula, but it doesn't reach him. And now it is back with Tonali, and it's with Dan Burn in this back line. As Zubimendi wins it. Gives it to Odegaard. Odegaard switches it to Madueke. Nani Madueke! Blocks away. Saliba wins the header. Saliba again. Gives it to Nani Madueke in the middle of this pitch. Madueke gives it to Gabriel. Now serve Declan Rice. Zubimendi gives it back to Declan Rice. Odegaard has it on this right side. He has the option of Ben White to his right. He goes inside and it's a terrible ball to Ben White in the end. Straight out for a Newcastle goal kick. Ramsdale was set to make his return to the Emirates Stadium today, but Nick Pope comes in over him. And it's a Newcastle goal kick. Pope stands tall over it. And he swoops his foot under the ball as it's played forward. It's now with Ramsey, plays it to Bruno Guimaraes. Coming back from that long-term injury, massive boost for Newcastle to try and just work their way up that table as far as they can by the end of the season. Even though Europe is impossible for the Magpies. As it's Dan Burn. Plays it to Ramsey. Tackled by Zubimendi, but it is back in Newcastle's possession. It's with Dan Burn inside his own half on this left side. Swoops it over to Asula. Great ball. Saliba, world-class defending by the Frenchman. Here he is with a cutback to Zubimendi. Zubimendi tries to play Madueke. Madueke with a great touch. He takes the shot straight at Nick Pope from quite far out. Quite ambitious from Madueke there.
Well, I think it was good play from Arsenal, good build-up, but in the end they couldn't get a good finishing shot off. Madueke, he does well to get on the ball, get good positioning, but Nick Pope had that covered every single way of the attack.
Ben White gives it to Odegaard. Great sliding tackle by Sven Botman on Odegaard as Tonali tried forward. An away end roar from that slide tackle from Botman as it's played to Asula. Dribbling with the outside of his boot on Saliba. Ben White cutting across. Asula nearly got in between them, but he did get floored by Saliba. Quick feet by Asula there. Saliba just took him down as Newcastle have a free kick in the 23rd minute at the Emirates. They found themselves 1-0 down in the 9th minute to an Arsenal corner. It's only a matter of how they react to this setback. We're waiting for this free kick to be took as Bruno Guimaraes stands over it. Even though Arsenal are now top of the league, this is the first time since early October Arsenal have started a match day not top of the Premier League, as they did have a 9-point gap, but they saw it evaporate as the shot is played by Willock miles wide and it's an Arsenal goal kick. Oh, Chet looking anxious on the sideline as David Raya sprays it long from the goal kick. Havertz jumps to try and win the header. Too high for him though. But Arsenal do have the throw in on this far side. Hincapie plays it to Rice. Rice played backwards to Saliba. Saliba to Odegaard. Odegaard to Zubimendi. Back to Gabriel. Rice with it. Plays it to Zubimendi. They've been a great partnership this season, Declan Rice and Zubimendi. Zubimendi coming in the summer for £70 million. As it is played at Odegaard from Zubimendi. As he drives forward with plenty of space, he has Madueke to his right, which he does play. Madueke driving at the defence. Plays a through ball to Odegaard. Odegaard the back heel to Zubimendi. Couldn't find his foot in Martin Zubimendi, the Spaniard. As the captain Odegaard applauds. Arsenal have a throw in. Ben White takes. Gives it to Saliba. Saliba to Odegaard. Gives it to Rice. Rice back to Ben White. Now it's with Odegaard. Play to Eze. Odegaard goes down. Referee doesn't say anything as Madueke tries to get on the end of that ball. Nick Pope collects. Sorry, but we're having some massive technical problems here. The stream will have to be ended because of these. As so far the stream we have dropped 900,000 frames. So the stream will have to be stopped because of these massive technical difficulties.